Well, Jez, Ryan Donaldson departed the club this week. How would you best describe his contribution to Cambridge United?
Well, I think if you walk around this football club, you'll see some of the most iconic moments of the last 2 or 3 years on the walls, and Ryan Donaldson's in most of those photos. When you think of his contribution from when he arrived from Gateshead, instrumental in getting us out of the conference, 2 goals at Wembley in the trophy final, fantastic free kick at Wembley in the playoff final, and that changed the future of the club really. We talk about now how the club's in a good position and stable financially and really optimistic about growing for the future, but that's only really occurred since we've been able to get back into the league. That's been the key moment for the club. Man United was great and it was the icing on the cake, but really getting out of that league, as Grimsby are still discovering and others like them, was so tough, and Ryan played such a big role in that. So like I said, I think his contribution is everywhere around the football club. How he played here in that first game against Manchester United, and I just think how he is as a person. I think he's been a fantastic ambassador for our football club. Even the other week when we played the game against Yeovil, the kick it out game, he came through into the hospitality room with 11 children from Abbey Meadows Primary School and really spoke passionately and eloquently about how he'd been into the school and delivered an assembly about anti-discrimination and how he'd been to that school that had 40 different first languages. And that stuff probably doesn't get seen by everybody, but it's appreciated by us. Whenever we'd ask Ryan to do anything, any visits, any community stuff, any interaction at any level with supporters or sponsors, schools, children, he would always be the first to put his hand up and do it. So he leaves with total respect, huge amount of gratitude, and we really wish him well for the future.
Another popular figure in Robbie Simpson also leaves the club by mutual consent. What are your thoughts on Robbie, particularly over his 2 spells at the club?
Well, look, everybody knows my thoughts about Robbie. Brilliant person, unbelievable person, and back in 2006 he pretty much single-handedly saved this club from being relegated out of the conference. So you could argue that we wouldn't have even been talking about getting out of the conference the right way if it wasn't for Rob. And to come back and contribute as he has, really important. I think last year at the start of the season that we had some experience, and people like Robbie and Luke Chadwick in the dressing room played a massive role for the younger players. Robbie's just like top lad, top professional. His influence on other people is huge. Everybody respects him, me included, and I think that everybody knows what this club means to him. So these decisions are always difficult, but the way that Rob's handled the situation and his words in the press just are typical of him. He couldn't speak more highly of any individual, and he'll be successful in everything he does in life because he's honest, he's trustworthy, he's a grafter, he works hard, he's talented, he's intelligent, he's a brilliant lad. And again, I would just echo the sentiments of every single person connected with Cambridge United Football Club, where we say that thank you for his contribution to what we've done, and he'll always be welcome at Cambridge United Football Club.
I guess moving forward now, that the word hot on the lips of supporters will be the word recruitment. Can you give us a little bit of update on where we are with that?
Just in a process, Tom, that started as you'd have expected weeks ago, maybe months ago. It's really important that we recruit the right players and build on what Sean's achieved in the second half of the season. The coaching staff and the players have been led fantastically by Sean, but you look at the results. We go into the end of the season wishing the season probably doesn't end unbeaten, but it's important that we try and retain the core of that group and we add to it in the right way. So Greg Abbott coming on board will be a big help. We meet regularly, myself and Sean and Joe and Ginge and Greg. Lots of work's been done behind the scenes, and we know exactly what we need. We know the profile of those players to come in, and we're working really, really hard to bring the right players in. I think that it might be a little bit different this year compared to other years in terms of when we do it. I think there's early targets that we need to try and secure, and then maybe some things that can wait till pre-season. So I would just say to everybody that we're on it and we know what we need, and we'll we're all doing our best to recruit the right players so that we can continue to push this club forward.